Oh, this is really close. I have a bit of space. How's that? How's that? Hi, welcome to a new video. My name is Cara and today we're doing my September book haul. So there's a small collection of books I got this month. I say small, it's not that small. 16 books I picked up in the month of September. Some of them are already on my October TBR. Others, a couple of others I'm hoping to read in November. And we'll just see how things play out. But let's have a chat about all of these today. Alright, so where should we start? I just have two stacks here. What's on the bottom? Yeah, that's reasonable. So first off, I picked up My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. This is a slasher horror thriller. It's a slasher. Stephen Graham Jones is a Native American author that writes horror thriller kind of stuff, and I've loved everything I've read from him so far, so I was really excited to pick up this one. I've mostly listened to his audiobooks, but I have read a few in physical format and really enjoyed them, so I'm interested to read this. I think it's going to be an absolute ride, and this is on my October TBR. Another one on my October TBR is All These Bodies by Kendare Blake. This is another thriller, but this is a YA thriller. It says a gruesome killer, 16 bodies completely drained of blood, one impossible explanation. I have liked stuff that Kendare Blake's done before. Like, I enjoyed the Three Dark Crowns series, and I think this one could be really good, and it's really short, like under 300 pages. So I think I could fly through it really quickly. We'll see if I get to it. It's on my extended, like, huge October TBR, but obviously I'm going to be randomizing those, so we'll see. Whereas this one, I think I'm going to push and try and read regardless. This one might come up on the randomization. This other one I haven't decided if I'm going to read regardless yet or not, and that is How We Fall Apart by Katie Zhao. This is also on my October TBR, and this is a dark academia thriller. It features it says, lesson number 1, Sinclair prep students, betrayal will haunt you from the grave. So it follows a bunch of school kids and murder, mystery, betrayal. I'm really excited about it. It's been on TBRs before, but I just didn't get to it, so I really hope to read it in October. Switching tack to things that aren't on my October TBR, we have Luck of the Titanic by Stacey Lee, which is the Titanic retelling following Chinese American girl who stows away on the Titanic because she's not allowed. Why am I saying Chinese American? A Chinese girl trying to get to America, but she's turned away, so she stows aboard, and I am very excited to read this. A chunky fantasy I picked up this month is The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. This is a sapphic fantasy set in a fantasy version of India, I believe. It is like over 500 pages. And it says, trapped by her despotic brother within the crumbling walls of an ancient temple, Princess Malini dreams of vengeance. Meanwhile, maidservant Priya, forced to disavow her power and her birthright because of her past, dreams of freedom. So obviously their destinies will entwine. I've heard good things about this. It was on the sapphic trifecta with The Unbroken, which everyone really loved, and shit, what was the other book in the sapphic trifecta? I feel like I've read it. I can't remember anymore, but there was 3 fantasy sapphic books that had come out this year that everyone was raving about, and this is the only one of them I haven't read yet, I believe, and I think it will be really good. I didn't love Empire of Sand, which was one of her previous books, but I enjoyed it. I just didn't love it, but I feel like my problems with that could be resolved by being chunky, so we'll see. And if I like this, I might go back and read Realm of Ash, which was the second book in that other series, but it was a companion series, so I didn't feel like I needed to read it. But if I really like this, I might go back and read Realm of Ash. Okay, another one's on my October TBR. We have A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. This is another one that has been on previous TBRs and it just didn't end up happening, but I'm going to read it in October. It is on my Bookopoly digital TBR, so it's a set read for October, and it's a dark academia, spooky, ghosty, witchy story. I don't know that much about the plot. It's queer. It looks like this, which says a lot as to why I wanted it. And also the UK cover got announced, and it hasn't come out in the UK or Australia yet, but the cover is stunning. So I think I might end up having 2 copies of this book. We'll see. Another book I definitely am reading in October is Iron Widow by Jiren J. Zhao, which just came out, and it's our polyamory book club. Polyamory plot hole. The polyamory plot hole is our book club, which is a polyamorous book club, where we read polyamory books every month. And this coming month we're going to be reading Iron Widow, and it's a sci-fi action adventure based in Chinese mythology, and I'm really excited to read it. It's one of the few things on my TBR that are not spooky, but I can't wait to read it, and it's going to be like one of my first reads of the month. Next up we have The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is the sequel to the Inheritance games. This is a YA mystery thriller adjacent. It reads much more contemporary than mystery thriller, but there are some mystery thriller elements. Like it is, but it's like a contemporary mystery thriller, if that makes sense. And so in the first book, our main character Avery, who's lived her whole life poor, her family life is really all like dark and confusing. Like I think she lives with her brother and one of her parents maybe, but there's problems. She's got a lot of problems in her home life, and she gets contacted by this billionaire who's given her everything in his will, but she'd never met him before, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. And book 1 ended with some cool cliffhangers, and it was a really fun, fast-paced read, so I'm really excited to read book 2. Another sequel, we have Shadowghast by Thomas Taylor. This is the third book in the Malamander series by which is in the Irion Sea mysteries. Malamander is amazing. Gargantus, which is book 2, was really fun, and I can't wait to read this one as well. They're just great middle grade eerie adventure mysteries. I would have put some on my October TBR, but I think I'm going to try and fit it in on my Believe-a-thon TBR in November. I'm really excited about it, and I hope I love it. Another sequel, we have The House of Always by Jen Lyons. This is the 4th book in the Chorus of Dragons series. I just finished Memory of Souls this past month, and I'm very excited to read this one. This one's a little shorter by like 100 pages. But I've heard amazing things, and it's the second last, like the penultimate book, and I'm scared. So this is a huge fantasy series. It does feature polyamory, kind of. I mean, it does, but it kind of builds throughout the series, so it's not like entirely evident from book 1. But it's a complex fantasy following an end of the world prophecy, and our main character Kieran could either save the world or destroy it, and each book has really cool formatting and just gets more and more insane with every installment, so I can't wait to read The House of Always. Another sequel is The Hollow Heart by Marie Rutkowski, which is the sequel to what was the first book called? The Midnight Lie. And this is a little duology villain origin story-esque. It's sapphic. I enjoyed book 1. I didn't absolutely love it, but the ending was what really sold me, and so I thought I'd better pick up book 2 and see where it goes from the end. So we'll see. It is based in her other world, but following different characters from the Winter's Curse trilogy, and there are some very valid critiques of the Winter's Curse trilogy, but I did like have a decent time reading it, so Then we have Among Thieves by MJ Kuhn. This is a heist fantasy. It's a high-stakes heist novel set in a gritty world of magic and malice. And the tagline is, "Who needs friends when you have axes?" I think this will be really fun. It was much shorter than I expected it to be. It's only like 300 and something pages. 340. And I think it's just going to be a fun time. I do love a heist novel, especially a fantasy heist. So hopefully I love this. 2 books by the same author we have, which like never happens, but if you saw my TBR, I'm going to be doing a dedicated video for this author. I normally only keep like 1 book from an author on my shelf at any one time on my TBR shelf, but I already had one by this author, but I went and got these anyway because I'm crazed. And that is Velvet Was the Night and Certain Dark Things by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, because I'm going to be doing a Sylvia Moreno Garcia like dedicated reading vlog in October. This one is a noir thriller, and this one is a vampire noir. And all her books have very different vibes. So my normal problem with buying more than one thing from an author at a time is I really struggle to marathon series because I get itchy for a new world and don't like sitting in the same writing style or world for too long, but her writing styles are really different from every book I've read so far from her, which is 2. So I think I can read these 2 and The Beautiful Ones kind of close to back and not have much problems. So I'm going to try and do that in a dedicated reading vlog, so we'll see how it goes. And then we have Major Detours by Zachary Sergi. This is a choose your own adventure novel, which I picked up in my LGBTQ plus subscription service with Dahlia Adler. And I was like, you talked about this. She did the promo, the initial announcement for this and the cover, and I was like, sign me up. It is a choose your own adventure story and an old school like RPG where you fill out the like information at the end based on your choices to like learn character information. I'm really excited to read it. I don't know when it'll happen, probably November, December. I'm going to try and make sure to get it on my clear shit TBR, but I'm obsessed. And finally, a gift from my dear friend KJ, who co-hosts along with Dylan and I, the Polyamory Plot Hole Book Club. And for my birthday, she got me A Dark and Starless Forest by Sarah Hollowell, which is a... Hello, Mika. Hello. It's a dark contemporary fantasy, I believe. It says there's something in the forest and it's angry, violently angry. They live in an isolated house by the lake, separated from the rest of the world by an eerie and menacing forest. So yes, dark magic, spooky. I love this cover. Obviously we feature a fat main character, and I'm so excited for the fat rope in this, and it is also on my October TBR. So those are all the books I picked up in the month of September. Let me know if you've read any of them. Give me like your non-spoilery 2-word thoughts on any of these. And I can't wait to read them, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon in another one, and hopefully you'll see my wrap up coming up soon.